Hey, welcome back to Talk of My TV. Today, apparently, we found out Young Thug's a snitch, and he is telling everything. Let's get into it.
Now, Young Thug, one of the most popular rappers out of Atlanta, has been caught up in snitching allegations that could ruin his career. The internet has been going crazy after an alleged audio leaked claiming to show Young Thug cooperating with detectives.
Yeah, it's over for him. He is officially a snitch. That audio that came out is nasty work.
Thug quickly denied it, firing off a series of tweets defending himself, but whether it's real or not, the question still stands. Did Young Thug just expose the street code for what it really is? In my opinion, if you ask me, I think he did. Back in May 2022, Atlanta rapper Young Thug's life took a dramatic turn. He was arrested alongside 27 members of his YSL crew and got hit with a RICO that included over 60 charges, including drug trafficking, firearm possession, and more. Thug was denied bail and ended up spending over 2 years behind bars in Fulton County Jail. By the time his case finally went to trial in November 2023, it had already become one of the most heavily covered legal battles in rap history. After losing over 900 days.
Yeah, but that case was handled extremely sloppily. No, they dropped the ball on that one. They had so many rules broken, it wasn't even funny. That judge was horrible. So he got away, thank goodness. But this guy is definitely a snitch.
Locked up, Thug eventually struck a deal in October 2024. He pled guilty to multiple gang, drug, and gun charges, while also pleading no contest on a racketeering conspiracy charge. The judge hit him with 40 years, but in reality, it turned into just 15 years of probation. And although Thug could finally walk free, there were very strict conditions, like he can't return to Atlanta except for family emergencies or events, and has to perform anti-gang presentations in the community, and can't be seen promoting gang culture in any ways. And after all that, Thug went through after showing his disdain for snitches, now Thug is caught up in a situation that tells a whole nother story.
Super hypocrite, because he came at Gunna for being a snitch. Meanwhile, he is the biggest snitch. How are you gonna just be sitting down telling the police all of the information?
So there's this audio that leaked a few days ago of supposedly Young Thug cooperating with detectives. So in one of these clips, you can hear Young Thug talking about how he's made promises, I'm assuming, to keep his mouth shut, right? And then he says, and I'm paraphrasing, whatever you want to know, I'll tell you, speaking to the detective, just don't tell the world.
Listen.
Yes, sir.
Promises. Make promises. Just we'll keep promises. Whatever you anytime you ever ain't gonna know anything, tell me. I'll tell you anything. But don't tell the world.
What's your number?
Yes, you can.
Hey,
I don't want your number.
well, give it to me. If you ain't going to have to do.
And then in this other audio,
Look at that. Don't tell the world. Promise me? What? This guy is definitely the biggest snitch. He was trying to keep that under wraps. No. Gunna had no evidence like that under him. He just agreed to what they wrote on that damn paper.
of Young Thug, you can hear him name dropping Pee Wee Roscoe.
This motherfucker running from New Orleans. I'm from Atlanta. This nigga was in Atlanta and I was in New Orleans. I said, what the fuck? That was so weird. This nigga, I shot at this nigga tour bus. Honestly, I don't know who the fuck did. They said.
Now, why are you dropping names? That is considered snitching. If you are quote unquote a street nigga, you shouldn't be telling them anything. Your mouth should be zipped.
And Roscoe, but I don't wanna block. I don't wanna block out y'all case by saying.
Who was the man who shot up Lil Wayne's tour bus back in 2015. He's close with Thug, worked as his tour manager, and he did time for this crime. So Thug is allegedly cooperating with the police, even name dropping Lil Wayne in the interrogation room. Now this audio has allegedly been out for some time, and
Wow, so he been snitching for a long time and it been known. It's just been getting by because he's cool.
I'd never really heard about it, but it just went viral on the internet, and Thug responded right away on X, formerly known as Twitter, shutting down all the allegations. He tweeted, "They didn't play my interrogation video in court case. I helped my brother. Hashtag."
You gotta be kidding me. That's a joke. Please, rat where, rat there. You, my sir, are the rat. You went and told to get your brother free. How are you gonna give up the information on somebody else to save your so-called brother? Get out of here, man.
Tag rat where? Question mark. Basically saying if he really snitched, why wouldn't prosecutors have used it against him? After that, Pee Wee Roscoe, the same guy who was accused of shooting up Lil Wayne's tour bus back in 2015, came out defending Young Thug. He said, Jeff clean as Listerine, he did what a real street nigga was supposed to do. Now I'm sure most people know how vocal Young Thug has been about snitches. Most famously, after his release, he's condemned rapper Gunna, who also used to be a part of his YSL crew, and did time in the feds for the RICO.
Yeah, that's crazy. How are you gonna come at Gunna for being a snitch, and all he did was just say YSL is a gang, and meanwhile you're actually giving names of people and pointing out, you're giving out evidence, my guy. No, that's not good.
Gunna eventually got out, ran up a bag, did his thing, and now he's one of the more successful rappers out there. His career is doing extremely well. But the controversy around his name was that when he eventually got out, Gunna took an Alford plea deal. Basically, it's a way for you to formally accept guilt in court so you can take the deal, but at the same time, you can still say you're innocent. It's kind of like telling the judge, I didn't do this, but I'll take the punishment anyway. And that's how the Snitching label got stamped on Gunna.
That is crazy because Young Thug's brother took the exact same deal and Young Thug was okay with it. In fact, Young Thug gave him the okay to go ahead and do it. So how are you going to come at Gunna for doing something like that when your brother that you gave the okay to do the exact same thing is okay in your book? That's messed up. That's hypocritical.
Absolutely no proof that he actually shared anything in detail, but his reputation took a hit within the street side of hip-hop as a result of that. And then now, ironically, we have Young Thug doing any and everything he can prove to strangers on the internet that he's not a snitch. The so-called street code, particularly in hip-hop, is one of the most hypocritical things I've ever witnessed. A lot of these guys, document their crimes in their music. They always talk about how real they are, why they never speak to the police, but obviously all that is an image that they're selling.
Nah, Troy Ave said it, man. The streets is a myth. That's a quote that will go down in history.
It's a very powerful image because it projects a fake kind of authenticity and boldness that you don't typically see in the real world. And the fans, they eat all that shit up. But obviously, it's all marketing, it's all branding, and in the end, it's a product. And speaking of the so-called street code in general, honestly, it's one of the most backward things I've ever witnessed or seen in my entire life. It's protect the streets over protecting the community or one's own family. It glorifies loyalty to chaos and dysfunction instead of loyalty to one's own life. And I'm sure we all know this, but there's no honor among thieves, right? These are the same people who, when someone from their crew gets locked up, they end up trying to fuck his baby mama and pretend like they have like a shared bond.
That's a fact. They will try. They will try.
Which really it's not built on anything, right? Because when you look at what happens in a lot of these cases, when they eventually are in that cold interrogation room, you see how fast they turn on each other. I mean, you even saw this in the YSL case itself. Half the members cooperated with the feds the same second they got arrested. The biggest lie that's been told is that there's morals among this group of...
That was wild. How half of the crew almost told the second they got locked up. They sat down, offered them a sweet tea and a sandwich, and them guys immediately started to sing. That is horrible. That's one of the worst things I've ever heard. I don't even know how that gang even get any street credit anymore, period. This should be just a joke in Atlanta.
People who have no issues with shooting at anything that moves, which includes women and children, there's absolutely no structure to how things are done because the whole thing is built on lawlessness. When there's no structure, there's no real way of operating, especially in times of pressure. And that's why the so-called street code falls apart the moment somebody's facing real time. In that interrogation room, survival takes over and survival has no rules. And then we have guys like Gunna who get shunned for separating themselves from that energy, and they're the ones who get called fake. No, that guy didn't fold. He made the smartest possible decision that he could make, which was cut off the bad energy, roll in a different circle, put down a cup, pick up some better habits. I'm sure.
And get out of there because that was not good for him. Look at him now. He's healthy. He's working now. He stopped doing the drugs and drinking the lean. Look, Gunna's doing a lot better. Gunna is doing a lot better without YSL, and that's a fact.
A lot of people have seen Gunna's fitness transformation. He's doing very good health-wise. Meanwhile, the street side is the one that's really losing because take away the image and what are you really left with? Jail time, a bad record, fake friends, your BM getting fucked on, money you can't spend. That's the side that doesn't get glorified because that's not the so fancy aspect. I mean, think about it. You make a bunch of money in the streets. What can you really do with it? Because anything under your name isn't going to cut it. You've been unemployed for the last 10 years and then suddenly you go to Chase trying to, deposit a bunch of drug money and then that's when you end up in one of those body cam videos. And this is how a lot of street rappers' careers actually get started. Either they front somebody money who end up laundering it for them through.
Maybe that's how it used to get started. with the technology the way it is now, you can literally buy all that equipment professionally for like about $1,000 and record right from your home. Zero problem. You don't need no funding from any suspect ass drug dealer. No.
Music or another type of business where they get fronted money themselves from a, let's say, investor. I think we really have to start changing the narrative on the street shit, man, because the fact that it's 2025 and this lifestyle is still being glorified by grown men is crazy. It doesn't offer anything productive in the real world. As a matter of fact, it's pure destruction, and we know that because we've seen what happens when people entertain that way of living. You know how many people are in the morgue currently or doing life in prison, which is basically being dead, because they thought they were following a street code? The amount of potential that's been wasted is crazy, and I think it's time we start looking at it by calling a spade, which is, it's lame. There's no honor in it. The so-called street code doesn't exist.
It's never been honor in it. The street has always been a joke. People just big it up like it's something to look up to, but in all reality, it's a bunch of negativity and debauchery and degeneracy. So really, no, it's not something good at all. It doesn't really need to be promoted, but that's what the youth find exciting and fun. Supposed to just listen to music, not become the music, but people tend to, in this generation, become and want to be what they actually listen to in the music, which is not good.
And the sad part is there's a lot of people who find out too late. I do want to say that a lot of them are products of their own environment, but I do want to say that the majority are a product of their decisions which led them to that lifestyle. It's a myth that keeps on getting perpetuated and sold to the masses because there's money in selling the image. Anyway, I think Young Thug kind of exposed that the street code most definitely is a myth, but you know, what do you guys think? Curious to see what you guys have to say. I'll catch you guys in the comment section below.
Most definitely. He comes off extremely hypocritical, coming at Gunna for being a snitch. Meanwhile, he's sitting down in the interrogation room giving out names of his enemies to get them arrested. He could say that it didn't lead to an actual arrest, but you're giving up information that you're basically giving them information that they did not have before. So, sir, you are a snitch. I don't know how people in Atlanta even still talk to you. I'll be staying away from you, sir, because you might tell on me. Oh, no. Let's go. All right, that's it. We are wrapped up, and let me know what you think. Do you think Young Thug is a snitch? Because I sure do. Let me know in the comments. Give me a like and subscribe. Yeah.